I can tell you that NIRF kind of ranking systems will not work. It should not work, in fact. Nearly 75% of the schools did not have the faculty who got a PhD in a particular subject teaching the same subject. Schools have no idea about training the faculty. In Indian context, if you look at it, it's hugely competitive. Hugely competitive. People just can't survive without revising their curriculum, their pedagogy, and all other weaknesses that you might find in the institution system.
Welcome to Education Post News. So, first of all, I would like to know your small introduction so our audience get aware of it.
Okay, let me tell you, my name is Thothathri Raman. Okay. For your purpose, the brief introduction is that I'm the pioneer of the ranking and rating in this country. Okay, I introduced ranking and rating in Business India magazine in the year 2000. Also, international accreditation, advocacy. I run an NGO for international accreditation advocacy called CR Trust, Standards for Educational Advancement and Accreditation Trust. Okay, and this is also a pioneering effort to bring international benchmarks of quality to Indian business education. So, our relevance is basically in this kind of convention or any other convention like IMA, AIMS, EPSI, all of them. I'm involved with all of them, and we basically come to attend to impart knowledge about the global benchmarks of quality. So that's what basically it is. This convention, for example, is talking in terms of same thing, accreditation, international accreditation, dual accreditation, Indian accreditation and international accreditation together. So from that point of view, people like me are very relevant here. So we have to come here to attend this conference. And conferences like this are very important because in today's system, that curriculum, revision, NEP, all these things we talk about. And those things have to be discussed in conventions like this so that experts in the field are here to exchange notes, exchange ideas, and then interact with people. So that's the reason why these conventions are very, very important. And AIMS, nearly 40 years old organization. This is the 35th convention. So obviously there is a lot of road that has been covered, and this road is basically about curriculum development, about benchmarks of quality, about standards. Now everybody is talking about AI. And here also all the convention people, everyone will be talking about it. So obviously, because that is the latest thing that we need to talk about and understand how AI is helping education. So these are the few points on which this convention becomes very relevant. That's what.
So, as you have a lot of experience and relevant to the industry, and you are looking towards like how industry is getting changes from years of years, and right now you are into a conclave. We are talking about the future things, what was going to be happening. Okay, the thing is that as you rank the college, there should be the proper benchmarking standards that you should you have to do quality assurance, how they are providing their feedback. So accordingly you do ranking and all. So what do you think, like there is a lot of colleges out there still they're following the traditional method. They're not setting up their curriculums and other things according to the generations. So, what is your suggestions and your aspect, like how they are going to revamp so the student should be, prepared according to the industry to grab the job or look into their future?
I understand. See, the basic thing you should remember is that everybody is in the business of education. See, ultimately, the educated people from your institution should go out and get a job. Ultimately, it's about that. So every institution, whether you like it or not, small, big, medium, whatever it is, they all have a particular system of education. Now, you say that some of them are conventional, they have not changed, so we need to change. How do you change? Change comes only from competition. See, if there is competition, then you would like to change. Okay. Today, in Indian context, if you look at it, it's hugely competitive. Hugely competitive. People just can't survive without revising their curriculum, their pedagogy, and all other weaknesses that you might find in the institution system. So that's why ranking becomes important. Irrespective of whoever does whatever ranking, what is the quality of ranking, I'm not getting into all that. But the fact is that you participate in the ranking, you participate in any other benchmark of quality, you participate in competitions, you write in this kind of journals and write in journals proper in terms of the management journals. So all these kind of what we call intellectual capital building is a very important aspect for quality improvement. So intellectual capital building focus has to be there. So that's why today, for example, we are talking about AI. Why we are talking about AI is purely because intellectual capital building requires tools, various tools, so you can adopt. So to go back to your question, whether you are a small school, whether you are a big school, it's just that if you are innovative, if you are creative, you can bring out excellent students from your institute. It doesn't matter what is your size. That comfort level, that confidence you should have.
Just a simple question. What was your procedure to analyze when you are doing the ranking of the universities and colleges? What were the standards benchmark that you have set?
Okay, I'll tell you, that's a simple thing for me to answer. See, my own ranking, which we introduced way back in 2000 when we did not have enough data. See, today your journal has a lot of data. At that time, nobody had anything. They all only know the attendance register for faculty, attendance register for students. Beyond that, no data was kept by anybody. So we introduced first ever ranking in Business India magazine, 650 parameters. I introduced 650 parameters. Just to give an example, on faculty alone, we had 75 parameters. To give you an example, just elaborate a little bit. If you say, I'm a PhD, I'll ask how many PhDs do you have? They say there are 20 PhDs. Okay, which subject? Fine. Which university they got the PhD from? How long back they got the PhD from? Like these questions will follow. So at the end of the question, one question will ask, tell me whether the person who has got the PhD in a particular subject is he teaching the same subject? And I'll tell you, nearly 75% of the schools did not have the faculty who got a PhD in a particular subject teaching the same subject. So what happens in the process is that students do not get the quality value that the PhD has given. So this is our problem. So we highlighted that, and we keep highlighting, and we say that schools don't have journals, so bring out journal. Schools don't have data, bring out data. Schools have no idea about training the faculty. So we insisted that we should train the faculty. So series of things we did resulted in other institutions also starting, like Outlook, for example, Business Today, for example. All of them, one by one, they followed what we were doing, leading up to NIRF. Then NIRF is the most famous today ranking system that we have. Leading up to NIRF, and of course, people like me who have been in this field for a long period of time, almost 20 years I've spent in this field, I can tell you that NIRF kind of ranking systems will not work. It should not work, in fact, because when you are the government and you are the institution which is actually giving permission, you can't also be doing the ranking. There's a conflict of interest here. So this conflict of interest is something that we have been pointing out for a long time. I have no qualms in saying that. So ultimately what happens, the ranking systems, whichever ranking system that is available, good, bad, ugly, whatever you want to call them, is useful to the institution. So institution should consciously take it and do a serious job of it. Not simply saying that, okay, for the sake of data, I'll put some few data. No. Do tell the truth and then improve upon it. So when you have a basic truth with you, then from there you can revise. That is the way. That's the most practical thing to do.
Sir, literally nice to hear. It's a big thing to identify the problem and creating the certain scenario where you are the person who are giving the solution of it. So seriously nice to talking with you and nice to have it in this kind of conclave.
My pleasure. Always. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.